So you had the takeoff, super dangerous. The landing on the moon, of course, still dangerous, very dangerous. And then the recovery mission itself, also very dangerous because you got to get them back alive, you know. So that team with the people on the USS Hornet, the Navy SEALs, the underwater demolition team that picked them up, you know, so you had the guys do the splashdown. They had to get inside of hazmat suits, okay? They get pulled out by Terry Muhlenbach, who I got to meet. He was telling me what it was like to recover the Apollo 11 astronauts.
That's crazy. So they've gone through all these dangers. They've made it through the moon landing. They've made it all the way back. They finally splashed down. And then there's this other fear, right? And you said a little bit about it, about how they had to get into hazmat suits. What's going on with that? What were they freaking out about?
You know, there was some thought. We had never been to the moon before, so there was some thought that there might be contagions on the moon that we didn't know about, you know. So they had to put them in quarantine. And in order to make the quarantine happen, you know, they have to pick them up out of the ocean. They have to carry them in a vessel of some sort, okay, before they can get them back on land, okay, to a larger quarantine facility. So they called upon a company called Melpar, and Melpar was tasked with the responsibility of making the vessel that would be where the astronauts would live, okay, for a period of days until they could get them back on land. And so they contacted the Airstream company. Melpar made the filtering systems to pressurize the difference between the outside pressure and the inside pressure to keep contagions, if there was any, contained inside the Airstream itself.
Show us the model.
Yeah. Oh, the model. Okay. Well, this is a model of my Airstream. This is a 27-foot 1968 Overlander. Okay.
That's amazing.
And you know, it's a 1/24th scale.
And so something similar to this was fitted for the astronauts to be quarantined in only temporarily while they were taken to the other quarantine site, right?
Right. So you had the 3 astronauts in there, plus you had a guy that was a physician. You know, they had a table up front here where all 6, you know, there was 6 seats here, but they had a table that could double as a platform for doing surgeries. I mean, they were prepared for anything that might go wrong. Okay.
And how long were they in the Airstream en route to the big facility where they were quarantined for even longer?
It was 88 hours. So,
in the Airstream, okay.
In the Airstream. So the Airstream that they built had no wheels. It just had like it looked like it was on a big aluminum pallet or something.
I saw some images of that. It's crazy the conversion they did to it. And another thing that really stuck out to me about those images was once they got to the quarantine facility, the way they had to communicate with their families and wives through the glass, even with President Nixon through the glass. And then one of the astronauts had his birthday and they had to do it through the glass because they were absolutely quarantined because of, you know, what they had termed was moon bugs, which I think was also crazy.
Buzz told me that he was so happy to get into the mission quarantine facility because there was so much more room. Okay, literally shoulder to shoulder for a long time. Okay, so you know, during the entire mission. So,
and but we can finally relate to them now.
That's right. That's right. So, you know, I mean, and we might think that you know, maybe they were being a little overcautious or whatever, but that whole program and what they did, probably if we do a manned mission to Mars, we will absolutely have to do this all over again. You know, there is some thought by many scientists that there is microbial life somewhere on Mars. You know, maybe some things are dormant. you know, so it's quite a possibility. Where on the moon, it's a sterile environment and there's less concern. Mars would be a much larger concern.
Hey, are you subscribed yet? You better do so in order to never miss a segment. Click below and subscribe today.